Tim, I know you wrote an article. You graded all 32 of the teams after the NFL draft. We'll stick to the North, the AFC North. Steelers, A+. Ravens, and you see, Steelers always draft well. Ravens, A-. Again, Ravens always draft well. They got Nate Wiggins, a cornerback. Some feel the best cover corner. They needed that. Browns, B+. And also the Bengals, B+. Bottom line is this division is the best division in football, and Steelers and the Ravens have been drafting really well for a while. Browns and the Bengals are starting to draft just as good.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to a point where, even we saw it a little bit last season, though the team who finishes in dead last is still a very good football team. So it's just kind of, it's kind of like the way it is in the SEC. It seems like great teams are just kind of cannibalizing each other so that when you get to the playoffs, maybe you're not the same team you were early in the season. So that's kind of what the AFC North has turned into. But, looking at the grades, the Steelers, A+. I mean, I love the way Omar Khan attacked the offensive line, drafting 3 offensive linemen, all interior guys within the first handful of rounds. I mean, my goodness. There was obviously the criticism for the last couple of years of the Steelers. The offensive line hasn't been good. If even just 1 or 2 of these guys pan out, I mean, this team has a chance to be a real problem, especially if they can get quarterback figured out. With Baltimore, I really like kind of what they did in day 3. I kind of termed the pick of TJ Tampa in the 4th round as kind of the Eric DeCosta special, because that seems like he's done a great job of taking those, of just pouncing on guys that have been falling down the boards, falling down the rankings, and are still there all the way late, and that's what he seems to do. Nate Wiggins is an interesting pick. I like him, but with Cooper DeJean there, I thought he would have been the perfect Baltimore Raven. 6 foot, 200+ pounds, run support type of corner who's an absolute playmaker. That's the one criticism I have out of Baltimore's class. And we talked about Cleveland and the Browns with the B+. It's not a lot to work with. It's ultimately, just trying to do the best with what you have, and I thought Mike Hall certainly worth that 54th pick because of that upside, because he already has tools that you don't have at defensive tackle. The Browns really don't have that kind of explosive, disruptive guy in the middle to just create havoc as a pass rusher. And there were some solid depth picks in day 3. Jamari Thrash, Miles Harden were really intriguing picks. And with the Bengals, they got the B+. Obviously, they, like every other team in the division, got after the offensive line early. Amarius Mims, I mean, he is a big dude. I think about 342 pounds. May need a little time to redshirt. Maybe not redshirt, but to sit and develop a little bit. They do have Orlando Brown Jr. and Trent Brown as the starters right now, so they can take a little time with him. Chris Jenkins, I was a big Chris Jenkins fan coming out. I think he can help replace the departure of DJ Reader. Jermaine Burton is also another interesting piece, speed, and it gives you insurance depending on what happens with T. Higgins.
Yeah, and the Burton thing, he'd have gone a lot higher if you didn't have the red flags with kind of the attitude and some of those things. So could end up being a really good wide receiver if he can kind of get those things figured out.